This week starts off like most others. I've already laid down the framework for my timeline layout, added deco, and chosen the main highlighter colors that I'll be using for the week. Now that week 33 is officially here, it's time to set up this spread. I've mentioned previously on my channel that I'm leaning into more creativity in my daily planner since I no longer have a dedicated memory journal. With that shift, I've noticed that there's a nice balance for me between functional and creative. My weeklies are super functional, while my daily pages are much more creative. This is what works best for me. And there are times in my life where I could probably only use weeklies to plan my time and not have daily pages, but more often than not, I do need dailies to help manage all the things floating around in my brain. Without dailies, it can be hard for me to prioritize my tasks because it'll just end up that everything feels like it has to get done ASAP. And then I'm crazy, or at least feeling like I'm in need of some kind of medical attention. And that is not the goal, so dailies it is. Speaking of functionality, there's this belief in the planner community that your planner cannot be both functional and pretty, or at least that planners that people actually use to manage your life aren't pretty. I strongly disagree, but that's likely a topic for another day. In the meantime, what do you think? Does it have to be messy in order to truly be functional? Getting back to the point of this video, which is my weekly spread. At the end of last week, I set up my time blocking on Google Calendar. I use the tasks that I've outlined from some current projects and determine which days will be ideal for getting those things done. I talk more through my time blocking process in this video, which I'll have linked in the cards and in the description box. So that's how I know which days I'll devote to which focus areas. And I also reference my monthly layout to note any appointments or meetings or day-specific items for this week. This is the weekly process that helps me ensure I'm using my time wisely and wasting as little of it as possible without stressing myself out. Because as we all know, we cannot get back the time that we waste. Once I've transferred all of the main appointments that I have from my monthly, I'll go back through and transfer over any page flags. These are the things that I use to remind me of certain things I might want to do on specific days of the week. And I'll transfer those things over to the weekly layout before writing them in, since I'm not entirely certain exactly which day these things are going to happen. Once I have everything solidified in the top portion of the weekly spread, which are the day-specific tasks, and then the middle section, which are all of the appointments and timed events, then I'll go back through and transfer anything from the previous week on the task list that did not get done. So I'll carry them over to the current task list, assuming that I'll be able to get to them this week. I feel like there's a lot of back and forth between my monthly spread and the weekly spread, but I do this to ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. Because if you know, like I know, it's easily possible for things to fall through the cracks. There could be something that you had written down previously, but you forgot to transfer it to the spot that it needs to be on your planner, or maybe even you have it in like your Google Calendar as an appointment and you never actually wrote it down. And for me, if something doesn't get written down on my calendar or on my planner, it's not gonna happen. And then the final step is just to transfer my little sticky note of dinners and put them on this week. These are all of the possible dinners that we could have based on whatever's in our freezer, whatever's in the pantry. And I like to kind of prioritize those items, of course, so that nothing goes to waste and nothing goes bad. So I'll transfer over my little sticky note if everything hasn't been crossed off. And then those are the meals that we will work on first for this current week. The last thing I'll do is reference any other planners that I have. So for instance, my health and fitness planner or my work planner, just to make sure again that nothing is slipping through the cracks. And as far as my social media content planner, I will transfer over that little sticky note that's telling me which videos I'm working on for this week. I went over more of this in that specific video, which I'll have linked up in the cards and down in the description box for you if you want to see more about that. And now we are all done. Everything is completely covered in little sticky notes and page flags. And rest assured, it looks much prettier when I remove all of these little sticky notes, but I need them in order to make sure everything is getting done when and where it should. Thanks for hanging out with me in this video. I really do appreciate it. Here's another video that you might be interested in on my channel. And I'll see you in the next one.